Let me begin by asking a very simple question. Do we know the truth about what really happened in the 2020 election?
I think millions of Americans know something went wrong.
True the Vote has the largest store of election intelligence for the 2020 elections. We've identified more than 1,100 mules.
What is a mule?
Person picking up ballots and running them to the drop boxes.
This is organized crime.
That was a trailer for the election conspiracy propaganda 2,000 Mules. It was created by right-wing provocateur Dinesh D'Souza, and it's been widely cited by election deniers across the country as proof that the 2020 presidential election was stolen. In that trailer, you may have caught mention of an organization called True the Vote. That is a right-wing voter suppression group. 2,000 Mules is very upfront about the fact that the main source for their stolen election allegation is research by True the Vote. Now, True the Vote claimed that they had identified secret operatives, so-called mules, who were stuffing ballot boxes with votes. And the filmmakers suggest that that is proof of an election that was stolen for Joe Biden. The claims in that film have been widely discredited. And True the Vote has now been forced to admit in a court filing in Georgia that it had no evidence to back up its claims about ballot tampering there. So after that humiliating admission, you might think that anyone involved in the whole 2,000 Mules election conspiracy would, I don't know, retreat from public life. But you would be wrong. Yesterday, Republicans chose this man, Brandon Gill, to be their nominee for Texas's 26th congressional district. Brandon Gill is the son-in-law of the creator of 2,000 Mules, Dinesh D'Souza. And Gill was the film's main promoter when it premiered. That alone is an alarming example of where the Republican Party is right now, but it is even more shocking when you consider one of the other candidates Republicans chose to be their nominee yesterday. This is Mark Harris, a conservative pastor who ran for Congress in North Carolina back in 2018. And Mark Harris won that race in 2018, or at least that was how things appeared at first. Because after Election Day, everything changed.
Republican Mark Harris beat Democrat Dan McCready by only 905 votes. But instead of calling the race, officials launched a dramatic months-long investigation into allegations of absentee ballot tampering. Harris denied knowing about any wrongdoing. But just a day earlier, Harris's own son, John, a federal prosecutor, gave emotional testimony, revealing he warned his parents about the political operative they hired, Leslie McCrae Dallas, accused of running an operation that tampered with absentee ballots. Workers for Dallas say they were directed to forge signatures, collect blank or incomplete ballots, and even fill in votes.
North Carolina had to hold a brand new election after it was revealed that a Republican operative had helped steal that congressional race by running, wait for it, a ring of ballot harvesting mules. Yes, mules who collected ballots and filled them in for the Republican candidates and then mailed them in to be counted. In the end, scandal-plagued Mark Harris chose not to run in that do-over election, citing health issues. But there is no shortage of second chances in Republican politics. So yesterday, Republicans in North Carolina voted once again to make Mark Harris their nominee, this time in North Carolina's 8th congressional district. Harris is now claiming that that 2018 scandal was actually manufactured by Democrats to steal the election from him, because, of course, he's saying that. So to summarize, the guy who promoted the totally discredited ballot mule conspiracy is now a Republican nominee for Congress. And the guy who was tainted by the very real ballot mule election conspiracy, scandal, if you will, he is also now a Republican nominee for Congress. Both men are running in safe seats, and they will likely be elected to the U.S. House of Representatives this November.